What's good, everybody? Hope you guys are doing great. Hope you guys are preparing physically, mentally, and spiritually for the dark times that are ahead of us, and hope you guys are getting right with God and staying strong. Got some more important information to share with you guys today. Now, before I get into this article, I just want to talk about how, the whole thing with digital currency is nothing new. But at the same time, you got to remember and keep in mind that the digital currency that they've gotten everybody used to right now, it's not something that is necessarily that they necessarily have full on control over. Sure, they can, shut banks down and whatnot, and, shut the internet off if they wanted to and prevent people from accessing their money. But a central bank digital currency is what would be pretty much paving the way for pretty much all out financial control and financial control on, for every single person in the country, right? And even in the entire world, if it does become a thing worldwide. But the whole CBDC thing is, is another one of those things that are definitely a part of their agenda. And something I've been talking about since 2020, around the time the whole scam started. But, it's like you can see the stuff from a mile away if you're really paying attention to it, and you can see the bigger picture behind it. They're going to have their cover stories talking about things like, it's much safer, and, you don't have to worry about, I don't even know if I'm going to be allowed to say that, so I'm just going to skip on that one. But they're going to have cover stories that that they're going to use, just like with everything else, to try and justify why this is such a great thing. But in reality, once the CBDC is really implemented, that's going to be a digital currency that they're going to have full-on control over. And at that point, it's going to be them having the ability to have authority over what you can and can't purchase. So, that's something that's coming. I don't know when. I can't tell you when they're going to implement it. But that's something that I know is a part of their agenda as well. And they've openly admitted it for years now. But I'm going to get into it right now. And it says the Federal Reserve is open to creating a digital dollar. And it goes on to say the Federal Reserve finally released a much delayed paper yesterday on the pros and cons of developing its own central bank digital currency, but without coming to any firm conclusions. Why it matters around the world, there are now 23 CBDCs, either in pilot or formally launched. They have morphed from a theoretical concept into real-world digital cash, changing the way governments and millions of people use money, but not in the U.S. Between the lines, although the Fed's paper doesn't advocate one way or another on whether the U.S. should begin development, the language used in the paper indicates that it's very open to the idea. Josh Lipsky, director of the Atlantic Council's Geoeconomic Center, tells Axios part of the reason that they're open to it is to see, part of the reason they're open to it is they see countries around the world exploring CBDCs. Says Jonathan McCullum, chair of the Federal Government Relations for David Hutcher and Citron. I think they understand that the U.S. has an important role to play in creating some sort of international standards. The big picture, a digital dollar would be legal tender pegged to the value of the physical dollar and backed by the Fed. But you see what they're not telling you, right, is the fact that this is going to allow them to have full-on control over your money. And folks, this is just another thing that you should be on the lookout for, because it's something that's going to happen, but you don't know when it's going to happen. And, don't be surprised, like, whenever they implement this, don't be surprised if they have, like, some type of benefits program with it, right, to get people on board with it, because maybe they might do something like, free $5,000, you know, for everybody who signs up for it and whatnot, right? And, you know, that'll end up getting a lot of people on board with it and pretty much accepting it, right? That's all they would have to necessarily do to really get people to really like it right off the bat and just accept it. But they don't even have to really do that. They don't have to do anything like that for it to work out for them. But just know that whenever this is implemented, it's pretty much going to be game over for your freedom, on every aspect, you know. But yeah, thank you guys for watching this video. I didn't have any intentions of making this video that long, but understand, folks, that physical money, you know, that paper money, the cash, continue keeping it on hand for as long as you can, because eventually it's either we're going to have a cashless society, or they're just going to, or we're going to still have cash that's still going to be usable, but they're just going to make it completely worthless. So be ready for that. I thank you guys for watching this video. Please share the video far and wide, and understand that these people have a lot of big things planned, and a lot of things are going to be changing dramatically in the near future. But I thank you guys for watching this video, and I'm out.